our next section on the agenda, which is celebrating the extension of foster care. So I'm going to pause for a second because I know we have so many folks who are joining new, and just welcome everybody again to our Foster Care Awareness Day. This is a hybrid event, so while we have a really great representation of folks here in the room in the Lincoln Auditorium at the Capitol, we do have several hundred folks who are registered and participating online, so they are watching us live, and I do believe we are streaming on Facebook, or we will be some. So definitely want to make sure that everybody has the opportunity to feel engaged and a part of the conversation today. Okay, so let's talk about some progress and successes that we've made over the last year. And for this, I'm going to invite some folks to help share what extended foster care is and what has meant to them. And I'm going to take a quick pause to ask if we have anybody who is logged in yet. Who is, okay. We have a couple folks who are joining us by Zoom, so we get to test out technology even more. So first, what is extended foster care? Why are we talking about this? Why are we saying let's celebrate extended foster care? So the extended foster care program is new, and it came about from the successful passage of legislation last year, House Bill 336. And several years of work from youth leaders within the Idaho Foster Youth Advisory Board, as well as legislative champions. And really what we were trying to address was this cliff that young adults were hitting when they turn age 18 while in the foster care system. So they'd turn 18 and lose all of the benefits that came along with being in foster care. And really the outcomes that we were seeing were pretty eye-opening, from hearing stories of youth living in their cars, couch surfing, not able to even enroll and stay in college just because life hits hard, especially 18, no family support. So what the legislation did is it allows youth to choose to stay in foster care up to age 21 and access a whole series of supports and independent living services, as well as the option to stay within their current foster care settings. So I am going to dive in a second and talk a little bit more about who's eligible and how it's being implemented in the state of Idaho. But I'm going to first welcome one of our first youth who is going to share her story about how the extended foster care program really is currently impacting her life. And while we get that pulled up, I'm waiting for a thumbs up from Emily. I will just say that the Department of Health and Welfare and youth leaders have done an amazing job in getting this program up and running really quickly. We passed this bill last legislative session. If you remember, the session went a little long, and so by the time it was time to implement, the department was able to get it up and going early summer. And so the youth that we're going to be hearing from are very new participants in the program. Okay, are we ready to hear from Tyshawn? So this is where we see if technology works in our favor. Okay, let's see. We see Colin, but let's see if we have Tyshawn on. Tyshawn, do you want to unmute yourself and introduce yourself? Do you want to let her know? I don't know if she can hear us. I don't know how legislators, good job to all of you chairs who manage this every day. So, Tyshawn, we can't hear you. Oh, there you go. We are good to go. I'm going to mute myself. Tyshawn, the floor is yours.
Hey, what? Oh, okay.
I don't know if you can hear me, Tyshawn. We are ready to hear your story. If you can start with an introduction, that would be great.
All right, let's do this. So I am Tyshawn Wright. I turned 18 December 13th of last year. I originally got into foster care, I want to say when I was 15. I was in and out of mental hospitals, and at first I thought foster care was pretty chill, but then I felt like I had no control over my life and couldn't wait till I was 18. I think extended foster care is like really, really helpful because for me, I'm behind in high school, so I'm 18 but only a junior. So extended foster care gives you that like support you need from the foster families and not only your social worker. You know what I mean? So far I feel like the only thing that is like, oh no, weird about it is technically you're your own guardian, but technically you're not. You know, like you still have to like get an order from the state to go out of state. I love home visits. I love doing home visits still. But so far, I think Health and Welfare is doing a great job. Personally, my social worker, Penny, she's like distant, trying to give me like the feel of being 18 and still in foster care. But she's always there if I need her for anything. Do you guys got any questions for me?
Awesome. Thank you, Tyshawn. Yeah, we do. If anybody has any questions, I guess my first question, Tyshawn, is what are your plans this summer and the coming year or two?
All right, so this summer I would like to get a job. Personally, I love little kids. I adore little kids. So hopefully in a daycare. And next year, as for schooling, I'm gonna be a senior, and hopefully I'll have my CNA, and I can work in a nursing home because I just adore old people. I think they're the cutest thing ever.
Awesome, Tyshawn. You couldn't see or hear us, but we are smiling and giggling, and I got a couple thumbs up. So thank you for being here. I know we just really wanted to quickly highlight you as a successful participant in this program. Anything else you'd like to share before we shift gears and hear from other youth?
I don't think so. You guys are amazing.
Awesome. Well, good luck at school. I will say Tyshawn is at high school, and she said, can I be done?
I'm right now.
Right. Can we make sure and be done so she doesn't miss class on time? So thank you, Tyshawn. We're going to say goodbye, and thanks for joining us.
Of course. Have a great day.
And then, so we do have another youth who is preparing to...
So what?
Oh, sorry.
Hello?
Let's see if we can get that logged out. We good? Okay, we got through our first Zoom participant. We do have another foster youth who is currently in extended foster care. He wants to share his story, but I thought I'd first jump in back to my slides and give a little bit more details on the program. Thank you for bearing with us. Seriously, Tyshawn was awesome, and she said, I really want to be there, but I don't want to miss class, and so I wanted to make sure and give her an opportunity to say thank you. So as of January 31st, so just last week, we have a total of 15 young adults who are benefiting from extended foster care throughout the state of Idaho. I did a quick math. That's about 20% of all eligible youth in the program. And it's a program that is barely 6 months old, so not even a year old yet, which is really awesome. So we're really being able to explore with youth and providers opportunities to continue to make it better and stronger. I do want to point out some details about who's eligible for extended foster care. So what the program does is it allows, again, youth to choose to stay in foster care, or if they have already aged out, come back into care to receive some independent living services and transition services. They do have to meet a series of criteria, such as being in high school or working on their GED program, being in college or a vocational program, employed 80 hours a month, or be in an employment program. So just one other highlight is that studies do show that youth who are in extended foster care do receive more independent living services. Idaho joined with 25 other states who have a similar program. Other states have seen youth go on to further their education. They are more likely to graduate college, more likely to access health and mental health services, and then less likely to experience economic hardship and involvement in the criminal justice system down the line. So with that, next up, I was going to invite Colin to share his story, and we're going to see if this goes a little better this time. All right, so Colin, you are on and queued up to begin sharing your story. We can't see you. Let's see if we can hear you. We have a chat over here too. Okay. I'm waiting to see. Well, we can shift gears because we were playing it by ear a little bit and trying to figure out Zoom. And so what I wanted to do next was start celebrating and highlighting the two amazing ladies who...
Okay, I am so sorry about that. I was using the restroom real quick.
Awesome. Okay, Colin is here. So Colin, welcome. We are all live in the room and anxious to hear your story. So if you can share with us for a couple of minutes, the floor is yours.
Okay. Well, my first time going into foster care, I think it was when I was like 15 and a half, 16, something like that. And I was put into a shelter home for like a month, and I guess it wasn't too bad, but I don't know. It was okay. And then I was in state custody for like a year. I went back with my mother, and then we had a situation happen. I got back into foster care, and then went to like another 2 group homes. I went to rehab twice, which was, because I have a terrible addiction issue, but I got super behind in high school because I was always in facilities, which didn't help. I went to a mental hospital as well. So I had a suicide attempt, but I lived. Well, I flatlined, but I came back, so it's okay. But then when I was 18, I pretty much had nowhere to go or anything to do. Like, I had the foster care system for like a year before that or something helping me out. But, I mean, if we didn't have the extended thing, I kind of would have been thrown to the wind, and that wouldn't have been very nice. And I would have had to stay in a halfway house, is what I was told. And I was like, well, that's not preferable. So you guys definitely helped me with that. I mean, I graduate high school in a week and a half. I have a job. I have a new job for when I graduate, and then I start college in the fall. So I mean, you guys kept me clothed and with a place to stay, so that was nice.
Yay. So, Colin, I don't know if you can hear, we are clapping and saying congratulations. Congratulations on 2.5 weeks until graduation, getting a job.
1.5. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Thank you. Anything else you'd like to share while you're here live on our screen with us?
I think it's a good system, and I'm glad it came to be. I know my foster dad supports it a lot, and he's on like the welfare committee and everything. He thinks it's cool, but I mean, it helps kids out, and plus you guys help out a lot of kids in other ways too. Because at my house we have, I think, 9 different foster children, so and it's a good place for them to stay, and it's a lot better than the environment they were in before, so which wasn't safe. So thank you guys for that.
Awesome.
Yeah, I think the system's great because a lot of kids out here need help because there's terrible parents.
Thank you, Colin. We'll let you get back. Are you at school today?
Yeah, I'm in school right now. We're chilling in the conference room.
Awesome. Well, we'll let you get back to class.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay. Thank you.
All right, you guys have a great day. Deuces.
I have to say thanks again to Tyshawn and Colin because they were excited. They said, yeah, we'll join. I know there's going to be, hundreds of people watching. I want to share my story. But I do want to acknowledge we do have other young adults who are benefiting from the program here as well, who as well as some foster parents that we would be happy to introduce any legislators to. So let me know. So I want to shift gears because part of our celebration today is acknowledging and honoring those who helped get the legislation passed. And first, we're going to start with Ivy Smith. So Ivy's here with us today. Ivy is just advocate, lobbyist extraordinaire. Ivy, you came to us at Idaho Voices for Children with the idea to extend foster care a couple of years ago. You had the bill drafted, you had a research paper written, and you said, we need to do this. And I said, let's do it. Let's figure out how to support you. Ivy seriously met with legislative leadership. You generated pretty much every sponsor for the bill. You testified in the hearing, and you have been just a model of how to be a really strong advocate. And so I wanted to say thank you and invite you to come up and share some of your stories, or your story of why you did it.
Oh, it's on. All right. Hi, everyone. My name is Ivy, and thank you so much for being here to celebrate this huge win with us. Just to share a little bit about my background is I entered the foster care system when I was 12 years old, and I aged out of foster care in November of 2016. And my aging out story was a bit complicated because I was 17 when I graduated from high school, and I wanted to join the rest of my peers and go off to college, but I wasn't 18 yet. Therefore, I was still technically in foster care. So myself and my social workers and some employees from Boise State University came with me and testified into my judge presiding over my case saying that I would really like to join my peers, and the foster home that I was staying in wasn't able to take me to classes every day. There was no public transportation. So really my only viable option was to stay in the dorms and to go to school. And after 6 hours of fighting for my right to go to college, we won. And I was able to keep going to college on time. I graduated with my bachelor's in political science and in environmental studies back in April of 2020. And I am now a master's student in public administration at Boise State, hopefully graduating in December. And I tell you all of this because, yes, it worked out for me, but that was because for so long I was told about the statistics of what happens to foster youth when they age out of the system. And out of, you can call it spite, sheer will, luck, whatever it be, I was able to make it through. But it took a lot of hard work and fighting to get there. And I know that there are tons of youth out there that wouldn't have been able to make it this far. And I want to make it so that more youth don't have to fight this hard just to be able to survive. And so at the end of my undergraduate career, I was given the opportunity to pick any research topic I wanted in regards to policy. And I was like, well, what a tribute this could be to research of foster care policy. And when I learned that there was 25 other states who had accessed this federal funding back in 2008 to extend foster care, I was just like, well, we have to do this. We have to help Idaho's youth. And that's when I was able to go to the Idaho Foster Youth Advisory Board, and we gained their support. And we turned to Idaho Voices for Children and asked, how can we make this happen? And I have been so blown away by the community's support, having the Idaho Voices for Children create this roadmap and just say, this is how we're going to do it, and we're going to help you get there. And beyond that, when we were testifying in committee hearings and hearing the legislators debate on the House and Senate floor, it was an incredible experience to see how many people truly cared about foster youth and wanted to see them succeed. And sorry, I'm getting a little choked up because for so long, foster youth, I speak for myself and on behalf of a lot of foster youth that it can be a really lonely, hard time to get through foster care, and it's not something that you always feel like you have a lot of people in your corner. So to see so many people come together and say, we want to help foster youth was absolutely incredible. And we want to say especially thank you to Senator Abby Lee, who is our champion and really worked so hard to get this through. And thank you on behalf of myself, Idaho Foster Youth Advisory Board, and foster youth all over the state. Thank you.
So Ivy, you don't get to run away that quickly. Ivy, we got you a commemorative copy of the bill signed by Governor Little and the signing pen. When the bill passed, I think this was the first request Ivy had was, can I have the pen? Because of COVID restrictions, we weren't able to have a signing ceremony. And so here is your official copy and your pen. So thank you. I know, you can hug. And then if you'd like to welcome up Senator Lee. So as Senator Lee comes up, we also have a commemorative copy of the bill as well as a card. As we're giving this to Senator Lee, I want to say I've worked with the senator for about 5 years now on improving foster care policy. You are a true champion. You have listened to the need, made this a top priority, and said, let's get it done. The bill passed unanimously, everybody, unanimously. So thank you. And, oops. I have too many things here. Clicked on the wrong one. Oh, there's your little thank you.
Thank you. I didn't expect this, but thank you. And again, this is Ivy. This is Tayshawn. This is Colin. This is Ethan. This really is, for those of you who are listening, I'm so proud to stand here and represent all of the other legislators who have a heart for children in our state. And it really is, it was incredible. And I have talked about miracles that happen in this building. And this truly is one of those where we have been able to step forward. There's a lot of people who work really hard on tax policy, and that's important in our state. But I'll tell you, what we were able to do last year and a couple of years before and a few years before that to really elevate the awareness of the most vulnerable kids in our state. And we are changing lives through this legislation. And I really want to acknowledge Idaho Voices for Children. I want to acknowledge Ivy. I want to say to any of the foster families that are out there Bring us your ideas. Bring us your challenges. Bring us the opportunities to do better. I am grateful to the department for the heart that they have for this, for their willingness to step forward and just make this happen. And again, for all of the legislators, this was bipartisan. This was across the board. And again, we'll hear from our governor later this morning, but also our executive branch. She really has a heart for this. So thank you. I'm honored to be here today. Thank you for everything that you do.